Calabar Carnival and festivals may have come and gone, but a lot has to be said about the festival. Now we know that the 31 days of fun and excitement in Calabar brought a lot of people to Cross River State from far and near. But again, a lot of people do not know the work that goes behind the scene to make all that magic happen. And so on today's podcast, we'll be talking to the man behind the magic. Help me as I welcome the very Mr. Effiong Ekpenyong, MNI Special Advisor to His Excellency, Event Management, Governor's Office. Thank you so much for being here.
Oh, yeah. Thank you very much, Janice. It's good to be back home, so to speak.
Absolutely.
I have these nostalgic feelings, being around here reminds me of a lot days of little beginning. It's good to be here.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is just to add that Mr. Effiong Ekpenyong is a veteran broadcaster. So it's somehow, this is something that you do.
Yeah, exactly.
And now you're sitting at the other side of the bench.
Exactly.
And then someone else is doing this to you. So let's have fun together. Let's have fun together.
Good to see you, Janice, and good to see Prince, Asari. Dr. Sound is just a new addition, and of course my brother on the camera. It's good to see everybody looking very, very glorious.
Thank you so much. Okay, let's get into it. The Carnival Festival, the Carnival and festivals, but we are going to delve more into the festivals, which you and your team were part and parcel of those that did the magic. It's everywhere, across Nigeria, not just limited to Cross River State, across Nigeria, the enormous success that we recorded, during the festivals. But let me ask, what major success would you say we recorded?
20 years, first of all, it was just last year, 20 years anniversary. And I must say that it's been 20 years of magic, 20 years of consistency, 20 years of passion, 20 years of dedication, and of course, commitment. And to God be the glory that the 20 years fell in the time of His Excellency, the People First Governor of Cross River State, my boss, our boss, the very distinguished Senator, Prince Basi Ededotu, who decided to do things differently.
Okay.
And if you know the man, Senator too, you know that he's a man who has listening ears. He's a man who will give you wings and wouldn't bother to find out how high you want to fly. He's a man who will give you a job to do with no supervision, and he won't want to stress you, but to ensure that when he gives you that job, he believes you should be able to deliver. Okay. When we came in 2023 into government, he called a meeting of the entire cluster. Of course, my sister agency, Carnival Commission, the organizers of Carnival Calabar, which I chair as the chairman of the festival committee, and asked us to try as much as possible to ensure that we do things differently. Do things differently in the sense we need to bring a bit of the time of Governor Duke, Governor Imoke, and of course Governor Yade together, and of course his own time as well, to ensure that we put all of this together and put up a good show. So we started in 2023 with so much, expectations, knowing that there was a disconnect for a while, because every administration has its own style of running and doing a lot of things. So of course the last administration has its own way, and they believed so much in the power week. So the 32 days wasn't like it used to be. So everybody
as loud
and events, happening every other day. But when we came, he decided and said that we need to rejig it again, bring back everything that was taken out. So you could realize that we brought back the concerts at the 11:11. We brought back the variety shows, children shows, and lots of other things that were, taken out. And of course, in the carnival, we brought back the Nights of Kings and Queens. We had, of course, the Junior Carnival, which was the children's carnival, now christened the Junior Carnival. All thanks to Her Excellency Bishop Mrs. Eyonwanita Mbasi Ededutu, who is a strong pillar of this administration. So we did that in 2023. We had the central team, but for us in the festival, we decided to christen it a break from the norm.
Okay.
So now we started that in 2023. In 2024, we said now that we've broken the norm, the sweetness should naturally continue.
Okay.
So we had 2024 theme as the sweetness continues.
Continues.
So fast forward, it was 20 years later. The governor said, you know what? We need to celebrate this brand. This is a premium brand that others have tried and failed. This is a premium brand that, like they will say, the saying goes, if it's not Panadol, it can never be Panadol.
Yeah.
No, now I'm not advertising Panadol, so to speak, but it's a normal adage around here.
Yeah.
So it was 2025, which is the 20th anniversary. Of course, we also christened it Beyond the Imaginable. We started with something very different. That was the Christmas tree lighting ceremony. The governor, in his wisdom, said, look, there were people who started this before me. He didn't only start when Carnival started in the time of Governor Duke. He went as far as His Excellency Chief Clement David Abry to honor all of them. And it was a very emotional moment for me to see a man step aside from the spotlight to allow his predecessors to shine. It takes a man with a large heart to do that. And if you were around, which I know you were, you'll agree with me, in the history of Cross River State, in the history of Christmas tree lighting ceremony, we've never had such crowd besiege the Millennium Park like what we had. Now, that was a sign to us that, look, we'll say it in effect. Then tell me, but don't bother. I'll explain. If one sweet like this, how about two? So we also there's another adage that says, you use sleep to know how death could be. But this one, we use this test rod to know how the main cocoa
as a litmus test.
Just a litmus test. And my goodness, if Millennium Park did not collapse that day, I don't think it will ever collapse again. We had so much persons in that arena. At some point, it was feeling like the Oscars because the governors came out in one after the other through a walkway up to where we have the lounge area. You know what I mean? And then they came out one after the other to come and sit for the president. So that already had sent strong signals to the outside world that the Dirty December lives
actually in Calabar.
And Dirty December started in Calabar. So Calabar is back.
Okay, fantastic. Let me ask this. Would we say that it is because we were celebrating the 20th anniversary of Carnival that we had that kind of massive success when it comes to Carnival? Because a lot of people would say differently, that the 2023 Carnival, the 2024 Carnival was nothing compared to what we had in 2025. So was it because we were having the 20th anniversary, or it's going to be like a norm going forward for Carnival Calabar, the rebirth of Carnival Calabar?
I don't want to believe that. I won't tour that path. We just came in 2023. Governor 2 came in May. We got appointed in August. So, I mean, if you go back memory lane, how Carnival was at a time, like I said, every administration has its own style and priority list. And Carnival at some point did not do, maybe I'm entitled to my opinion, did not do as much, well as much as, others, as people would have wished it should do. But we still thank His Excellency Governor
But let me cut in here.
Okay.
Because there were lots of feedbacks. Oh, Carnival has lost its flair. Carnival has lost its glory. We need to pick it up again. We need to do this. We need to do that. And then boom, comes 2025 Carnival, and we saw how massive it was.
Okay.
So that's why I'm asking.
I'm coming there. I'm coming from somewhere. I was about saying that thanks to Governor Ayade. I mean, he had every reason to come and say, you know what, this Carnival, I don't want to continue with it again, and he'll stop it. The heavens won't fall. Exactly. But he continued with what he came to meet and improved upon, where he introduced International Carnival, Bikers Carnival, and some other additions to make the Power Week a huge success. Maybe those other additions, distracted the Carnival a little bit more. But when we came, we were very intentional. We were extremely intentional to ensure that we get it right. And we go back to what it used to be. So, I mean, 2023, we came in, like I said, May, he got sworn in, and we got on board in August, September, October, November, December to plan such a huge carnival. It came out successful.
Okay.
But in 2024, we proved upon it. Now, 2025 is the 20th anniversary. Hey, a child who is 20 years is no more a child. A child who is 20 years should be done with the university, probably,
Absolutely.
done or going for service or coming back from service if properly, arranged and all of that. So 20 years, you should roll out the drums. 20 years, you should make a lot of noise. You should tell the world that, hey, we're still here. So we invested heavily in publicity.
Okay.
When I mean heavily, massively. And the 6 geopolitical zones were all touched.
In terms of publicity.
Outdoor publicity, radio, social media, virtual, and all of that. So it was, if you're coming out from the airport or going to the airport in Abuja, we had a gigantic billboard. Port Harcourt, the same. In Kano, we had that. In Lagos, we had that. In Port Harcourt, it was everywhere. So everywhere you go on, sponsored adverts, and then we had influencers who were talking about Carnival, Calabar, and Festival at every given point in time to, propagate this gospel known as Carnival Calabar to the world. And to God be the glory. We had top Nigerian Ailey's and Billy's artists, grace our stage.
Yeah.
I was talking to last year or year before last, we had Techno and Zlatan Ibile. Zlatan, when he came down he said he has never, apart from Lagos, seen this sort of crowd before. And I told him, I said, hold on, wait until the next year. When Tiwa Savage came, she asked, what went wrong? Timaya said, this is Calabar. He told us, he said,
the Calabar he knows.
Is back.
Yeah.
Now, 29th, which was the feather concert, which is infused into the carnival, we had Tiwa and Inyaya. 30th, we had Charlie Poppy and we had Timaya as well. Now, you'll be wondering which of the days
Tiwa and Inyaya,
Charlie Poppy and Timaya,
Timaya.
On the 30th, which is the Insomnia Night. The stadium was packed, jam-packed.
It was.
I remember going up on the 29th to meet the governor to give him an information. And he told me, he said, Doubly, what is happening? That right from when he was a kid to up till now, he's never seen the capacity of the stadium full to the brim.
Okay, let's shift a bit and talk about security.
Okay.
Because for one, I was part and parcel of, the whole festival and carnival. And I would say that for a long time, we've not had it that good in Cross River State. And it was really profound for me to see that, even after the festivals, sometimes, we get to close at 1 a.m., 2 a.m. Sometimes we get to leave the stadium at 3 a.m. And then you see people just moving in clusters, unperturbed, not bothered whether bags are going to be snatched, whether, they are going to be run over by, drunken people or anything. So let's talk about security in Cross River State as it has to do with the festival and the carnival. How were you able to pull that through?
Security for us in Governor Tu's administration is one aspect that has been taken very seriously. I was talking to some people the other day. I said it is in this same Calabar. In one night, you will have 5 to 6 kidnap cases.
Exactly.
Same Calabar. They will tell you they just picked one at Nantra. You hear another one on Marion, one at 8 Miles, Jonathan Bypass, State Housing. This same Calabar. But when Governor Tu came, he said, look, he needed to, if you do not have security put in place, no business can thrive. Investors won't want to come. Every day they are hearing negative. So security business, you don't discuss it. But he said he was going to change the narrative. Now you can sleep with your 2 eyes closed. And there's been a lot of orientation that has been ongoing. Even the people themselves, they are very, very conscious. If you see something, say something.
Say it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not minding who the person is. So he put in place the security architecture, to ensure that our state is safe, first of all, for people to be able to come in and, be part of what we are doing. There's no tourism. There's not like tourism if you don't have security.
Exactly.
I mean, what are you showing? What are you showcasing when people's safety is not guaranteed when they're around? So there's a lot of work that has been put in place, both land, air, and sea, during this period and after this period. And I would let the world know that during this season, we recover phones, telephones, items from people. They'll bring it backstage. Double E, Prince Otu Otewuku Yibo Boba. That's Prince Otu has said that people should not steal. People shouldn't take things that don't belong to them. If we catch them, we'll deal with them. And
so there's a consciousness.
There's so much consciousness. So now you saw as full to capacity that stadium was. Everybody left without any incident. Absolutely. Now Timaya was telling me that, look, if it was elsewhere that he asked them to come close to the stage, there would have been chaos.
Exactly.
But you know, when the righteous rule, there is a spirit that comes with anyone in power. There is peace.
Let me take you on something now. Let me take you on something. For me, I think that's one of the major successes of the festival and carnival.
Yes, please.
And that is because I remember I told you during the event, I said, Papa, that we have not recorded a stampede is to the glory of God. Now, your team was able, to work with the crowd. How did that happen? Because at some point, my heart was on my palm, like I was wearing my heart on my sleeve, and I was like, God, let this not happen. That we were able to control the surge. How was it possible?
We've done this that was the third year, going, and God has been extremely faithful. And like I used to say, I've been around. I didn't just drop from the sky. I started from the very, scratch. The basic to where I am today. So I have a lot of institutional memory, that come with me in this job that we are doing today. And I shared with my team. We don't walk alone. So we try as much as possible to get other stakeholders responsible in propagating this gospel that we are preaching, the Carnival Calabar Festival, our topmost brand together. So a lot of them also should also understand the vision of what we are doing. So for those of us who work in terms of crowd control and all of that, we do a lot of orientation. We do a lot of trainings with them to ensure that they understand that these people, first of all, are human beings. They are coming to enjoy themselves. You cannot be forceful on them or be unnecessarily overbearing towards them. They came out free will to come. Without them, there will be no show. I mean, they could decide to stay at home and you will not have that crowd. And our data from the Cross River State Tourism Bureau would be out any moment from now. So you have a mental picture of the influx of persons that came in December, in and out, during that season. So I would say that in all of this, teamwork makes the difference. Trust me. It does.
Okay.
It does.
Now we've been able to establish the successes of the festival and by extension the carnival itself. But a lot of people would just look at these events as beautiful events. What are the challenges? The back end. I know it's not easy. The tension, the stress and everything. What are the back ends? Because this is the back end that people do not know. And then they come on social media to say all sorts. So let's know the back end.
You don't want to know, my dear sister. You don't want to know. I know that I sleep, during that season, I sleep at least 2 hours, only 2 hours. Daily, 2 to 3 hours. And I have a governor who doesn't sleep as well. Now, he's leaving the show. Before the show, he's calling you in the morning. What do we have today? You send him an itinerary. Okay, I'm going to be around for this one. He calls in the day again. What's up? Where are we? Yeah, they're landed. He follows through with you, and encourages. Oh, no. Governor 2 will encourage you to make it in life, no matter what. And he will always stand with you. So the next thing, he's leaving his house, he's calling, I'm on my way to the show. You guys ready? I say, yes, Excellency, please come. He will stay all through. But besides that, I'm not one of those appointees that are given to sitting down in front with the governor on the same row to cross your leg and be the boss.
I give it to you. No. You're a behind the scene man.
Clock it.
Mona. You're a behind the scene man. No, I give it to you.
I don't like the camera because this camera made me. So I mean, I understand how this work, and all of that. I just believe that you should not be in front of the camera. If you really want things to be done, you should be behind the camera.
Okay.
So I try as much as possible to be part of the production. That's why you'll always see me running from here to there, coordinating, in as much as I have people doing that, but I'll still supervise and still shout and scream. There's a lot that goes on behind the scene. Okay, let me give you just one example. The last night of the Voices of Paradise, which was the night where Ebuka songs was to minister with our daughter, Minister Yada. You won't believe that at about 11 o'clock, Ebuka was nowhere to be found in Calabar. Now, nobody will know, nobody will understand this. Ebuka had an event in Uyo, which they did not give him the right timing. Okay. So by the time, not even in Uyo, in Eket, Eket, that's how it's been pronounced, in Eket. So, he started his performance in Eket at about, I think, past 11. Because we had kept vehicles and all of that to bring him from Uyo. You know how artists, they behave sometimes. So to bring him from Uyo to Calabar. At that time, he was still in Eket. And the tempo
was building.
Belts, was gone to everybody was waiting. We had the choirs. We finished the competition. Now, at about 12, that was when he was going to be coming down from the stage in Eket to do a road trip to Calabar. How now? So from Eket, first of all, to Uyo now to Calabar. It's not possible. Yeah. Past 12, he was still in Eket. Thank God for Charlie Baz, my colleague. He said, look, Papa, nothing can kill us. We must succeed. You know what we're going to do?
And I don't see 99, 100 cannot. You cannot be afraid of 100.
During this period, we always have, some sort of activation with our security agencies, the Navy. Okay. So we kicked in that part. And then they were able to help us to bring him from, he had to leave from Eket to Oron. And now from Oron to Calabar. But to God be the glory. Nobody will understand. He got in at about 1 to make his presentation and all of that. But, that's enough to send you to an early grave. Because what we've done is anytime we advertise anybody, we follow through to ensure that person comes to Calabar. I've had these experiences. We had the same thing with Techno last year. Nobody understood. As at past 9, Techno was not in Calabar. He was coming in from Bayelsa. The time he got there, he was shut down. We kicked in again. Security agencies helped us to bring him down. Same thing that happened on our first comedy night in 2023, Kenny Black. By the time he got to the airport, the flight left earlier than announced. So now this was Kenny Black to get to Calabar. The only flight that was left was through Uyo by 6 p.m. And there was no seat. So he was put on standby. Thank God for goodwill. A friend of mine, we're colleagues when we're doing NYSC, a senior cabin crew member with that airline, made space for him. He got in. Now, this roads used to be bad between Calabar and, Akwa Ibom. He had to do a road trip. He got into Calabar at 12. But to God be the glory. He was able to grace that occasion. Millennium Park was filled to the brim. They were waiting for him.
Exactly.
To be part of that. So there's been a lot. There are moments where you break down. There are moments where you need to, some you just finish doing bookings and you're done doing all the bookings. The next thing they come up with very seemingly impossible demands where you don't even know where to start from. But God always, the God factor will just play in. We'll just leave everything to God and say, God, take control. There's a lot that happens. Sometimes the technical issues, which some people might not even notice, but we will notice. The day of Tiwa Savage, we had a terrible issue with our equipment, but we managed through, to ensure that we got through. The day of the Christmas tree lighting ceremony, power went off.
The heavy
downpour, first of all. And then we had to start up the setup again. How about the day of the Carol of 9 Lessons? We had set up, done everything. The weather too has been a great challenge this season. Having rains when rains are not supposed to come. So you're just wondering, and then you'll be like, some of these jokers say, Modon Village where you're like, But it cannot
Your
be
village
about me.
people are hunting
They are
you.
hunting you. So I'm like, okay, oh, so really? So I mean, the climate change is for real and all of that. So there's a lot that goes on behind the scene. Trying to get money out, money comes out, and then you're trying to do
because I wanted to bring you on that funding.
Yes, funding and all of that. So, but the show must continue. And when you have a man at the helm of affairs who understands and appreciates what you're doing and celebrates you, come on now, you must succeed. You must succeed.
Okay, let's look at impact, because when we are looking at festival, we're looking at the carnival, we should also be looking at the greater impact, which is on the citizens and the locals of these communities. Now, how would you say that, local tourism has impacted on the economy of the state?
Wow, that cannot be overemphasized though. Governor gave us just one example of someone who sent him a text. The lady was into pure water. With an investment of 500,000 naira, she made 6 million naira in December. 500,000 naira, yes, please.
Whoa.
500,000 naira. And we've had several testimonies like that. I've known people who invested 200,000 naira. They went home with 3-point-something million naira on one product. Some was just ice block. Some was, a lot of them had different things. So the turnaround in the local economy is what you cannot get anywhere. Go to the festival village and find out how people made loads of money this December that would last them the whole year. I know people from there, they paid their house rent. From there, they paid the children's school fee. From there, they used to add and continue with their businesses that they do all through the year. I know people who wait for the December period to come so that they can get a space on that. This is made possible by His Excellency, the Governor of Cross River State. And for the very first time in the history of Festival Field Village, we now have the national grid connected to the festival village. Oh, yes.
So there's
24 power supply. So we just have a backup of generator. So that kicks in when there's an issue or the NEPA lights is or a PhD, But I mean, these are all the infrastructure that we put in place to make life more meaningful to people. And without those shops are sold for absolute nothing. You cannot compare, because Guinness came in last year, after leaving Cross River State for over 10 years. We're able to bring them back. And they are coming back again this year. So there's a lot of improvement in our Calabar Festival calendar that hitherto wasn't there. And there's a lot of confidence that people have now than before, that these guys are serious and ready to do business. So in the local economy, go around, do your data analysis, find out from people. You would see that people make a lot of money.
Definitely.
This season.
Definitely. Yes. Now let's look at feedbacks, because I love feedbacks a lot.
Yes, please.
And for people that accept critique and criticism,
positive criticism,
obviously, they use that to set the ball rolling. So let's look at feedbacks. There are lots of people that feel that the festival, especially the festival now, does not encourage local participation. Or maybe I should use the word enough local participation. So for them,
in what terms? In terms of
artists, people that come on the stage to perform, to make ministrations, to do ministrations. Now they feel that there's not enough local content participation. I don't know what you have to say about that. For them, they feel, they have to go to Lagos. They bring people all the way from Lagos.
First of all,
so there's that argument. There's that back and forth.
My darling, first of all, you can never satisfy the human being. This was the same Calabar where they were owed monies for months and years on end without paying. This was the same Calabar where they were paid stipends. 30,000, 20,000, and it doesn't come on time. When it comes, they will tax, and there will be little. So at the end of the day, you're going home. Some of them go home with 15,000, 10,000 for performance. But we came and upped the ante. We came and changed the narrative. We broke away from the norm. In this same Calabar, they have started receiving in millions. They won't tell you that. So anybody who says, I think it's just some disgruntled elements that would want to say that the real people who are, enjoying the season of sweetness will go to the social space and see that in the last 3 years that
So
they'll finish.
would you say
coming.
okay?
I'm coming. We finish festival and there's been nothing, no dragging, no negative press concerning payment of artists. We came in and said we needed to do things differently. People have received as much as 3 million naira. Home act. Never has it been done. 2 million. 1 million. In 10, 15, 20. And we try to carry as much people along. 500,000, 800,000. And when you say that we are not the participation of local, that's not true. You come to my office and do your verification. We have a catalog of people we pay, and we categorize them from A, B, C, D, Act. You don't expect someone who started today to receive 1 million with the person who has been there to receive the same. You start from 50, 75, 100,000, 200,000, 300,000, 400,000, 5. So that's still 3 million.
Okay.
So, and we've been consistent. As you perform, as you're living, you get your alert. And nobody interferes with you. So I can assure you that up until 2 days ago, I had to use my own personal funds to pay because why? Some of them open an account that cannot accommodate the money coming to, because they've not seen that kind of amount before. You can imagine that you go to, so you someone open an account and then you go and you cannot get 100,000. So you were used to collecting 10,000, 20,000 naira. The thing will hit back, and with all these funny accounts, with different funny names.
Yeah.
So you send that money to hit back, we won't know. I just paid 400,000 to about 2 persons. There was another person who he couldn't, 300,000 couldn't enter his account. The other one, the 100,000 couldn't enter. I had to use my money to sort them out.
So let me ask.
So there's been a lot government has been doing to support them.
Okay.
But a lot of them too have refused to improve.
Exactly, I was going there.
Doing the same thing. And this year, we will be very strict. I'm going to be the bad man this year because I will not encourage people who do not put in extra effort to their craft. You cannot be singing the same bang, 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 bang for 3 years. Come on, and now. Then
you expect to come and collect 1 million naira.
And then when you say we bring people from Lagos, come on now. For traction, you need the faces of those people. People were saying, oh, Ebuka and this. We needed Ebuka and Nancy Sime, both for their online and offline media, to be able to come and add a face to that. But we had a Janice Coburn and an MC Joe, Co-MC, who even did major job. But we needed them for the traction. You need to start to put these people. So you need to build. There's Charles the Boss who's doing well. There's Koboko who's doing well. There's MC George who's doing well. There's a lot of them. Exactly. There's this young man who is underestimated. What's his name now? Harmon, he used to call him Tiger Man.
Okay, Tiger Man.
He's a good producer. Very good. And there's a lot of others there. There's the chairman of the craft. He's very good as well.
Okay, let's look at modalities in terms of you getting to choose these local acts. What are the modalities?
I don't like calling them local. Home acts.
Home acts. Okay, let's use the word.
Because they can compete favorably on any stage, anywhere. Now, the modalities.
Local in the sense that they are our own. Yes, home. Okay, now, for a better choice of word.
Yes, home. Choice of word. Let's just stick to home. Now, for choosing, we go to they have the Comedian Guild, they have the craft.
Yeah.
P-Man, they're having a lot of issues, so they have different factions. So we try to, I don't want to be part of that drama. But I tell them that I cannot tax these people. I'll pay them their complete money. You find a way to go and get your dues from them. Because that's some of what some of the organizations were looking for.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And I must also please allow me to commend Her Excellency, the wife of the governor of Cross River State, Bishop Mrs. Effiong Ekpenyong. She's added so much value to the Calabar Festival.
Okay.
She has a lot of programs lined up. This year we had for the first time the old school night. It was amazing. It was handled by Dr. Groove. And then she has a lot of reach outs she does in December for children. And the children's party the day after, that same day after the children's carnival at the UJ Stadium. It was huge. She had lots of gift items, We had cartoon characters. We had playground for the kids and all of that to celebrate them. And she was there physically to celebrate with her children. She has something for the aged. She has something for the retirees. She has a lot of activities lined up in December to also add color and add beauty to our event. So there's a lot that happens around that season. And for our homegrown acts, all I will appeal is improve on yourself. Don't be on the same spot for too long. Don't be too comfortable around that spot. Improve upon yourself. Listen to what happens across the globe, and then come up with something nice.
Okay, so obviously, Her Excellency is the icon of humanity in Cross River State. So I think that she's just living according to her dreams and visions as the icon of humanity. But like you've said, of course, the homegrowns, there's a lot of work to be done. You cannot be churning out same old music and expect, to get a higher pay for value that you're not giving, actually. But let's look at something, public-private partnership. And I think that's why we have the African Diaspora channel in collaboration with CRBC, creating that nexus where investors can actually come into the state. Because like I said earlier, this channel is international, is an international channel. So we have a lot of Cross Riverians in the diaspora that would want to come home, to put their monies in. So how do we begin to call for investments or investors? How do investors, what are the opportunities that are open for investors in the sector?
I think there's so much. And like I said, when the righteous rule, the people rejoice. In 2023, when we came on board, His Excellency the Governor held an investors forum in Lagos at Baker Hotel in Lagos. Before now, a lot of people were not taking us serious, like, you guys, are you still there? But now a lot of them are running back to want to be part of the festival and the carnival. We've had the likes of Arise IIP being part of that. We've had a Frexim Bank be part of it. We had Guinness that left about 10, 12 years ago. They came back. We've had First Bank that has been consistent. We've had Zenith. We've had UBA. We've had Indomie. We've had a lot.
MTN.
A couple of MTN as well. We even had T2.
Okay.
The guys at Bodova, Etisalat. They also came. So there's a lot for those of us watching from outside to be part of. Let's build our state together, because this is the only state that we have, and we're very investors friendly. The governor doesn't sleep. He preaches that gospel, and there's a lot that has been happening recently. The handing over of Tinapa back to government from AMCON. You know what I mean? In the oil sector, there's a lot that he's been doing. He's one governor who doesn't talk too much, but there's a lot of action happening. And he's been very consistent in his body language, in interacting with people, regaining that confidence back. People are beginning to see Cross River State as being indeed investment friendly. So there's a lot to do in the agricultural sector, in tourism. Come on, come home. And Calabar simply means come and live and be at rest.
Definitely.
So we are ready to welcome you to invest in our dear state.
But I'm going to ask this question. I think a question that would be on the mind of any investor that would want to come back to Cross River State to, put their monies. What will the return on investment be like for them? What are they getting in return for the investment they're making in the state?
Come and try. Come and invest. That's all I'll tell you. But you will thank me later.
Absolutely.
You will thank me later. If Cross River State was not investment friendly, I don't think a Frexim Bank will want to invest on our Bakassi Deep Seaport project, which the federal government has given credence. The president himself. So if such an organization is investing in Cross River State, come on now. We don't need any other advert.
Absolutely.
And then you have a man like Senator Prince Bassey Ededotu, whose words and word he is his bond.
A governor of sheer excellence. Thank
Sheer
you so
excellence.
very much.
And we tag him as the people first.
The people first government, and he's living true to every word
Exactly.
of the mantra.
Exactly.
But, it's been wonderful talking to you. I enjoyed every moment of it. And I'm sure our viewer also enjoyed every moment of it. But on the flip side, before I let you go.
Okay, I'm here.
On the flip side now, I don't know if you would ever want to be a politician in your career, as a build up to whatever it is you're doing right now, because sometime in December, we saw you do something.
January, actually.
In January,
Yes.
Something very profound. For me, particularly, it broke me. It showed that, look, we are in position because of the people that we are, that are looking up to us. And it was very, very profound for me. You went to your village in Ward 2,
Cricktown
Ward 2, and there was just so much empowerment, from bags of rice to brand new machines, motorcycles, to sewing machines, to grinding machines, to clippers for hair,
and generator,
bobbing of hair, to generators, to washing machines. A lot of it was done. And I'm beginning to wonder, why did you do that? This period, let me call you the way we normally call you, Double E. This whole period, you understand, you're going to see a senator that has never pick call. We'll see a senator, that doesn't come home frequently, So a lot of people would be saying, is Double E trying to vie for a political position or something? So
not at all,
let the cat out of the bag.
Not at all. Trust me, Janice, not at all. I don't want to be a politician.
You don't want to be a member representing
off the mic. Honestly, I'm not vying for anything, because I started hearing people say, because he wants, I don't want anything.
Exactly.
I'm just doing the path of my mother, Her Excellency, the icon of humanity, the wife of the governor. I'm doing the path of my father, His Excellency, the people first. You must learn to put smiles on people's faces and take government to those who need government the most. So if you pride yourself as the people first, you should follow what your father is doing and follow who know road and who know God. So I decided that, look, all through December, we were busy, genuinely busy. I didn't have time to go back to meet my people. Politics is local. And I vote. I don't vote in town here. I vote, that's my political ward. So I had to go back to my people to also reach out to them and make them enjoy the season of sweetness. It's never been done before. With my, my natural leader, Barrister Saipo, who also supported, and Her Excellency, the wife of the governor, supported me so well. If you notice, that same day, we had something at Cricktown, Ward 1, where she also empowered a lot of people. And she said, my son, this is the right thing to do and the right way to go. And that was where, and that's how, we went for that. So for me, I'm not looking out for anything. I don't want anything. I'm not planning to run any elections. I just want to continue doing what I'm doing, which I enjoy what I am doing. So about anything, no, nothing. You call me, I pick my call. You call me, I don't pick the call, I return
you
the
return
call.
it. So, I give it to you.
So
you return it.
I would come back to and responding to your message and all of that. So it's not for anything. I don't need anything. I did that in my community where I live in December on the 25th morning. I had to come out, share rice, share money to people, because there's genuine hunger in the land. So
you take government to the people
those who need government the most. You must take government to people, because I don't know why you should be thinking that you're living fat, and then anybody seeing me would think this one I had the Agbo government. Don't chop all the government money. You know what I mean? But you should be able to share to your brother and your sister. Definitely. Who is out there. So that's all right.
Thank you so very much. It's wonderful talking to you. Always a pleasure having you and listening to you also, talk. This is the much we can take. It's been wonderful. African Diaspora Channel, in collaboration with CRBC, take government to those that need government the most. And of course, like we've said earlier, come and live and be at rest. Invest all the monies that you want to invest in Cross River State.
And you'll have the return on investment.
Yes, you definitely have your return on investment. It's a safe haven for investors, for everybody that wants to come back to Cross River State. Senator Prince Bassey Ederotu, the governor of Cross River State, is doing awesomely wonderful. He's an excellent leader, and he's dishing out this leadership to the people, and it is palpable. We can actually feel every bit of it, and it's been wonderful. Thank you so much once again for joining us.
Thank you.
Of course, We'll see you on the other side.
Thank you very much, Janice. It's good and it was really, really nice talking with you.
Thank you so much. All right. That's the much we can take. Bye for now.
Bye.